man, I feel like there's already somebody doing what I'm doing. Do you feel that way? I mean, chances are, like, that's for sure. I mean, it's a big world. On YouTube, there's probably already somebody that has a channel that's like yours or that's talking about the same topic as yours. And so it can kind of be overwhelming and even kind of daunting to think about, well, how am I going to stand out against the competition? And also, if the competition's ahead of me, how am I ever going to catch up? And the good news is you don't need to if you use this framework. You got to just press record. The unfair advantage framework that makes the competition on YouTube irrelevant. It's a bold statement, but that's what we're going to be covering with this. And again, this is a part of our YouTube niche finder, which you can learn more about at learnvideo2022.com, where there's actually 16 sessions. And to that question about, also not just your niche isn't just about what you're doing, but it's who you're reaching. We actually have worksheets and customer avatar, viewer avatar. We go really deep in that in Niche Finder. And it starts with, there's 3 levels of depth to your channel topic. Once you figured out your channel topic, there's 3 levels of depth. And it starts with what you do. It's actually the most shallow level, but this is the area that most people compete. So let me know, what is it you do on YouTube? Think about like different restaurants. I'm a pizza place. A lot of other pizza places. We're a sushi restaurant. A lot of other sushi restaurants. We sell coffee. Okay. Well, there's a lot of other coffee places. And so on the what level, if you stay there, you'll probably be defeated on YouTube. So we got to take it deeper. The second level is how. How do you do it? Now, this actually is an area that I really want you to, get a fresh page out and start brainstorming about how you can be different on YouTube. This is actually a powerful level of depth. Like, how you do it is a point of uniqueness that I want you to amplify. So when I think about how you do it, I think about Motel 6 and the Ritz-Carlton. That's a different how of where you're going to spend the night when it's, when it's time to, you're on a road trip or you're on a vacation. Motel 6, how do they do hotels and motels? Oh, they do it cheap, which is actually a good value proposition. If you're looking for the best affordable price, you're going to go to a Motel 6. Now, the bed might not be the best. You might get some bed bugs in there, if you know what I'm saying. And like the carpet might be a little bit sticky, but at least there is carpet. And and the shampoo and the conditioner, if you know that Motel 6 life, is in a dispenser. You know what I mean? Like you literally, it's like you dispense it, and it's probably not the highest level of vitamin D enriched, vitamin E, conditioner for your hair. Motel 6, Ritz-Carlton, different price point. How do you do it? Well, they know your name. Well, thank you, Mr. Cannell, for being here today. They actually have cash in their pocket in case you have a bad experience. And they're like, I'm so sorry, here's some cash for your trouble. Now, they can afford that because the price is much higher, but the how they do lodging is different. So how can you do YouTube different, right? This goes into, how do you dress? What's in your background? Are you more punk or more conservative? Are you into geek culture, or are you really into classic records and rock memorabilia? Like, what are the how unique aspects of your personality that you can amplify on YouTube? That's the how level, right? What is your unique personality? Also, what is your process? So when you say, Danielle says, I do branding. Okay, cool. But there's a lot of different framework. I'm teaching you a framework right now. There's a lot of different approaches to how to brand your business. And so if you really want to stand out in an education niche, you want a proprietary process and you want a unique way of doing it. Like, for example, at learnvideo2022.com, we're doing a special offer right now on our Video Ranking Academy online YouTube course, right? And we have a unique process, a 7-step, the 7R framework, which is our Video Ranking Academy system. And nobody else has this. There's a lot of people teaching YouTube. Nobody teaches it how I teach it, right? There's a lot of people teaching YouTube, but nobody has our proprietary process that's now been proven. And we have over 10,000 students. And we have so many people, silver play buttons, gold play buttons, that from following our how. No, it's also not the only way to do it, Ritz-Carlton is not the only place to stay tonight. Motel 6 is not the only place to eat tonight. Chick-fil-A is not the only place to get chicken, right? You could go to KFC. You could also go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, Raising Cane's. Come on, what's your favorite chicken? Bojangles? Like there's different places you could go to get chicken. So you might be cooking up some chicken on YouTube, but I'm asking you to amplify your how. What is your process? How is it different from others? And what is your unique approach and point of view on the problem? But listen, not the deepest level. That second level is going to help you stand out, but there's another level of depth that is ultimately how you can really make the competition irrelevant. Like the competition stops mattering, watch, when you go to this level, and that is why you do what you do. Why do you care about branding? Why do you like doing DIY projects? Why do you do what you do? Here's a question. What is the bigger purpose or mission of your YouTube channel? Like, what are your highest values? Like, what matters to you at the core driving your channel? And so why do you do what you do? You know, when it comes to coffee, let's say, there's a lot of different hows. There's the McDonald's coffee, Dunkin' Donuts coffee. There's Starbucks coffee kind of in the middle. And then there's also like your local hipster coffee shop, right? And so they have different styles of where they get their coffee, how they do it, et cetera. But there's even a why behind them. I looked at Starbucks's mission statement. They want to be a third place, and their why, watch this, is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, in one neighborhood at a time. There's a deeper, you probably didn't know that, but there's actually a driving force behind their store, their chain of stores called Starbucks. What's the driving force behind your YouTube channel, right? And so ultimately your why, and watch this, can make you become radically different than somebody else. You know, we help people build profitable YouTube channels, but some people in our space, all they care about is the bling. They just want to flex cars. Maybe it's just about a party lifestyle. It's just about amassing as much money as possible just for yourself, just so you can flex. But that's not the Think Media vibe. That is not our why. Our why behind what we're doing is because we really want to change lives. We believe money is a tool, not just for our families and our team, and of course to support so we can pay our own mortgage and raise our kids, but we also like to give generously. We support 49 kids through Compassion International, 79 kids here at Think Media to help them get education and food and a safe place to live. Like, we're driven by faith, believing that God wove greatness into your and my DNA, and that's meant to be expressed and amplified. There's somebody else who would completely would come against my worldview. Their why is, no, God doesn't matter. I'm my own God. I'm going to do what I want. It's a radically different perspective. And therefore some people are like, oh, Sean's a Christian, I don't like him. Good. See, that's why the competition's irrelevant. It doesn't even matter if we have the best thing. Like, they just go, I don't like him. But watch, there are some who will be pushed away by your why, but others will actually be magnetized to you by your why, because people follow people with shared beliefs, and people really connect with people with similar values. So you're teaching Canva, and people connect with your vibe. They connect with your why. And I'm not saying you got to get on and just tell your whole life story. I'm just saying that this will bleed through the why you do it, the mission underneath it all. Like, for example, talking about chicken, right? Chick-fil-A, many know, is kind of like a faith-based company. Check out their why. It's good chicken and good customer service. By the way, that's not going to make you unique. Everything you do should be good, and you should have good customer service. That's not like, we have integrity. I hope so. So that's not going to give you a unique difference. Your why is going to be deeper than that. Watch this. They're closed on Sunday. And here is their mission: to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that is entrusted to us, and to have a positive influence on all who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. By the way, people get so mad that Chick-fil-A even acknowledges that God is real. They give glory to God, right? But guess what? People also love Chick-fil-A. Of course, they got to have good chicken. And there's always like a line all the way out to the street whenever I pass a Chick-fil-A, and they got the 2 drive-through windows. But they're driven by a whole mission statement that resonates with people. Here's my question for you is, what's your why? What's the deeper mission? What's the why beneath it all? Listen, your what matters. You need to do your what excellently. Your how is going to give you some unique difference. Remember that different is better than better. Your unique way of doing it will help you stand out, but your why is going to be the foundation under it all. And never forget that people follow people with shared beliefs, and people connect with people with similar values. You know, when I think about our why, and I think a lot of people do resonate with Think Media when we talk about this kind of stuff, our mission is to help 10,000 purpose-driven people create a full-time living doing what they love while making a difference in the world with YouTube and online video. But there's actually a phrase that we have written in our Slack and amongst our team, and we talk about it sometimes. It actually goes on with another sentence, and it's to experience that success without losing your soul. And it's part of our mission, because even different than whatever your religious beliefs or your faith beliefs are, we have observed that people oftentimes build businesses and amass wealth, but they destroy their family in the process. We've seen that, especially in the influencer and YouTube culture, that people grow on YouTube or they grow on social media, but they get burnt out and sometimes blow up their marriage, divorces running rampant. They get into all kinds of toxic addictions. And this isn't coming from a place of judgment. This is coming from a place of our mission is to help people experience success on YouTube without losing their soul. Because what good is it to reach the top of the mountain only to realize you're ultimately on the wrong mountain because you sacrifice what matters most? So ultimately, our why is, yes, similar to others. Of course, our stuff has to work to help you succeed on YouTube. That's like being good at the what. And then our how is different, and our styles may be different, and maybe you resonated with it or not. It doesn't matter. I'm hoping you apply this to your channel. What's your why, right? And even beneath that, the core vision of our company is to teach business and marketing from a biblical perspective. So in case you were wondering, the Bible is our framework for success. We believe it's the most proven, even separate from the faith side of it. It is the most proven and tested way of life that has proven to produce healthy, long-lasting results over centuries now. And so a lot of modern ideologies are theories that are not just untested, but they would actually go against my particular worldview. And you go, how can you connect that to business and marketing? Well, you absolutely can. I mean, the Bible is the greatest leadership book, the greatest success book, the greatest marketing book. All those principles are in there, Proverbs, all that kind of stuff. So that's like the why behind our company. A few other whys. And I'm sharing some of this because I want you to journal and inspire and write down, what is your why? What are your 5 to 10 highest values? What do you believe to be true about the world that even if you're teaching Canva, cool, but why? Even if you're doing DIY projects, why? Like what's the deeper level? What's the point? What is it that moves you? If it doesn't move you, you're not going to move others. If you don't get set on fire by your why, you're never going to spark anybody else. The interesting thing about this framework is also a key framework for starting movements, which ultimately, if you want online influence at a major level, you want to create something different than just a what channel, just the level of depth of what, you can spark movements if you have a strong enough why and you have enough clarity about your deeper values. And so some of the other things that drive us as a company, we believe there's never been a better time to build a life and a business on your own terms. We are so passionate about that right now, and the data supports it, that right now the creator economy is going to go from 20 billion to 104 billion by the end of this year. That's 5x growth in the next 9 months. There has never been a better time to build a YouTube business, right? We believe the education system's broken. It's our beliefs. That's why we're doing new forms of education. We don't have a massive lease on 100 acres of stone and concrete buildings with professors who've never actually run or built a business or whatever, teaching business. We just think that a lot of things that are in education are flawed and broken, and therefore we hope to change that. We are an education company, but we're a new school education company. It's one of our whys. We believe that one of the greatest reasons we can be on earth and the greatest things to attain is to live up to our God-given potential. Life is a gift. God wove greatness into our DNA. The fact we're even here, breathing air, the fact we exist is a gift from God. And our response is to steward the moments and minutes we have on this planet by giving that back to it, loving our families, building businesses, being productive, generous. That's what drives us. I have another level of depth with you, though, that I want to share. And this is, I didn't know I was going to go here, but I do have it in my notes, and then we'll get to some of your questions. Here's another depth of why. Who is the enemy or nemesis to your mission? What? Yeah, if you want a stronger why, you should be clear on who your enemy is. What? Like, and by the way, your enemy might be Canva channel, bad design. Comic Sans might be your enemy. You're like, you should never touch that font. You know what I mean? Your enemy in branding is bad branding. It could just be confusing messaging. Your enemy could just be lazy, dried out chicken. And you're like, you've been cooking it wrong, man. You got to keep that moisture in there. You know, you didn't fry that stuff right. Your enemy might be an ideology. It could be a person, but I'm not saying it has to actually be a person. It might be, though, a way of beliefs. And your YouTube channel, that when you have an enemy, your channel's message gets stronger. Is this too deep? Can we go here? And so ultimately, some of our enemies at Think Media are greedy, scammy online marketers. People who just try to shill an online course, but don't really back it up with quality learning, quality customer support. That's why we have a whole faculty that supports our students. So we have 25 people on the Think Media team. Makes us a lot. It makes us different than other people in the industry who slap together an online course. It's 5 years outdated information, and they weren't even really experts in it. They got lucky once. They haven't built multiple YouTube channels. Like, we're obsessed with being player coaches, and we just see too much greed and scammy online marketers misleading people. So we're on a mission to correct that. Do we get mislabeled? Sure. People are like, oh, you guys are just trying to, Sean, you're just trying to sell your book. Well, you can feel that way, but the book is amazing and it changes lives. You don't have to buy it. You know what I mean? But we're on a mission to conduct ourselves the best we can with integrity, we're being world-class, with honor. So that's some of our enemies. Our enemies is education that sucks and is outdated. Our enemies are outdated methodologies and people living in the old world when now it's the new economy, because like the world is changing and we got to learn new skills. We also, some of our enemies or how we feel is we feel that influencers are leaders because they're being followed, but that there's a lot of influencers that are not worth following. And this might come across as judgy, but I'm not afraid if that's the case. Frankly, now that I'm a father with an 18-month-old named Sean Bradley Cannell, another one on the way due September 3rd, 2022, named John Stephen Cannell, I look at some of the influencers that people are following on social media, and I just go, my God, I wouldn't want my son to emulate that behavior. The influencers obsessed with themselves, obsessed with their image, obsessed with materialism, obsessed with greed, obsessed with toxic, sexual behavior, that are horrible examples, that are, rude, that are whatever. And I know that comes across judgy. It's just true. Just not leaders worth following. We're the leaders. We're the influencers. And by the way, I'm actually not trying to curse the darkness. I'm trying to light a light. That's why we are on a mission to help 10,000 purpose-driven people that actually just believe that we need to champion values again, like family, and that we need to actually raise the standard of what a leader is, and that things like generosity and love and things like integrity and character really matter. And that values like that traditional values are traditional for a reason, because there's something about building your life on the rock and not the sand. And so that's where we're coming from. And so we just have our little piece of the internet. I know we're not that big. I know that Think Media is just one small stone in the ocean of what's happening online. But I really believe that as we throw our stone out into the river of the internet, that we can hopefully create a ripple. and that maybe that ripple will create more ripples in your life. Like, and whether this is the only and last video you see from us, hopefully this gets you thinking about being the change you want to see in the world and being, and I know like, you're like, dog, I'm just trying to make like a gaming YouTube channel. Like, what are you talking? What is the why behind my like Elden Ring channel? You know what I mean? Like for real. But I just think it matters that we use our platforms for purpose and use our platforms for good. And we do believe, and we're not afraid of making money and building wealth. We believe that that's God honoring and that we could be generous and it can fuel the mission and we can feed our kids. So we do want to help you not just prosper and build a powerful YouTube channel that makes a lot of money, but also develop the character, because we want to create leaders in all different sectors and all different niches with all different types of YouTube channels. I'm going a little long here, but I just want to ask you, what's your why? What's your why? What's the why behind your YouTube channel? I hope this is helping. You want to make your YouTube channel unique? Get clear on your what. Are you education or entertainment? Get clear on your how. What's your unique vibe, style, musical background, influences, things that you know, just unique flavor that makes you amplify that. But then at a deep level, amplify your why. And your why, it might hit your about page on your YouTube channel. It may be on your cover. It may not even be in your next video, friend. Like your next Canva tutorial doesn't need some long rant like the one I'm on. This, what the why is powerful about is you getting serious and actually getting clear on the values driving your channel. Like if you don't know your 10 values, then you'll just be blown around by whatever the opinion of the day is. What is the core convictions driving your channel? Because the more convicted you get and the more passionate you get and the more clear you get on your vision and your mission is the more powerful your YouTube channel is going to be. It's going to help you crash through quitting points. It's going to help you overcome challenges. But what it's ultimately going to do is it's going to polarize people away from you, but it's going to polarize people to you. You want to start a movement? You want 100,000 subscribers? You want the competition to be irrelevant? Start with why. Get clear on your why. And that's going to give you an edge when it comes to building up your YouTube influence.